You're making money. You have clients. You might even have a small team. And somehow, everything still feels like it's on fire. You're answering the same questions every day. You're doing tasks nobody else can do because nobody else knows how. You haven't taken a real day off in months. And the bigger you grow, the worse it gets. If that sounds familiar, stay with me. Here's what I see over and over again with small business owners who are already generating revenue. Nobody on your team knows what to do without asking you first. You are the process. You are the procedure. You are the manual that doesn't exist yet. You're spending time on $15 an hour tasks because you're the only one who knows how to do them. Your onboarding, if you even have onboarding, lives entirely in your head. New employees are figuring it out as they go, which means they're making mistakes you don't have time to fix. You are the single point of failure in your own business, and deep down, you already know it. This isn't a you problem, though. This is actually very common. It's a systems problem, and it's totally fixable. Here's why this happens to good business owners. You built the front end first because that's where the money is. You focused on sales, on clients, on delivery, because that's what keeps the lights on and the business going. And that's totally the right call in the beginning. But nobody told you that the back end is what actually sustains that growth. And here's what happens when you try to scale without it. Growth makes the chaos worse, not better. Every new client, every new employee, every new opportunity adds more weight to a structure that was never built to hold it. Good employees leave, not because they don't like you, it's because there's no structure to work within, and talented people don't stay in chaos for very long. You can't take a day off because the moment you step away, something falls apart, which means you're not running a business, you're running yourself into the ground. The revenue looks good on paper, but the profit tells a different story because it costs significantly more to operate a business inefficiently than most owners realize until it's way too late. Let me tell you what this looks like in real businesses because I've been inside them. I worked with a company doing about $1.5 million a year in revenue, 30 employees, multiple locations, salespeople on the road. The front end was phenomenal. Money was coming in constantly. There were so many opportunities. But the back end was a total nightmare. Tracking wasn't happening. A good chunk of the business wasn't even legally compliant. And then one day, a workers' comp audit showed up. $100,000 workers' comp audit. That's what back-end chaos actually costs. I worked with another organization, under 10 employees, where everyone was using different systems. Someone had Microsoft, someone had Google, someone had Apple. Nobody had a centralized place to save anything. Files were lost on personal desktops. Information was buried in emails. The owner was the bottleneck for everything because nothing lived anywhere accessible. The organization had grown so much faster than its back end. We fixed it by building one centralized system with tiered access. Simple, but nobody had stopped long enough to do it. And I worked with a firm going through a partner dissolution. The whole structure of the business changed overnight. And instead of stopping and rebuilding intentionally, they just started throwing tools at the problems. New CRMs, new scheduling, new tools, new band-aids, all these quick fixes, and it wasn't actually solving anything. And instead, it was just stressing out their best employees. And in every single one of these situations, the front end was fine. It was the back end that was bleeding them out. So let me tell you exactly who I work with and who I don't, because I'm not the right fit for everyone. And I'd rather be upfront about that. If you're already generating revenue, you have at least one or two employees or contractors, you know something is broken, but you haven't had time to fix it. and you're genuinely ready to stop being the bottleneck in your own business. You're probably not a fit if you're still pre-revenue, if you want a cookie cutter template dropped into your business without any real assessment, or if you're not ready to take an honest look at how your operations actually work right now. I am not here to sell you a course or hand you a checklist and wish you the best of luck. I come in, assess what's actually broken, and we fix it together. It's short-term, high-impact work. And when I'm done, your team should be able to run without me. That's literally my goal. I work myself out of a job on purpose because a business that needs me forever, it's not a business, it's a dependency. So if any of this felt uncomfortably familiar, that's not a coincidence, it's a sign. There's a link in the description that will take you to my website where you can book a free call. We'll talk about what's actually going on in your business, whether it's fixable, and whether I'm the right person to help you fix it. No pressure, no pitch, just an honest conversation. See you there.